The dowry system, a societal ill that has plagued many cultures for centuries, continues to cast a long shadow on our modern world. It is a practice that demands a payment, in the form of cash, goods, or property, from the bride's family to the groom's family at the time of marriage. Despite advancements in education, technology, and social awareness, this archaic tradition persists, thriving in the shadows of modernity. What was once considered a cultural norm has now transformed into a tool of oppression, greed, and violence against women. Even in the 21st century, the dowry system continues to rear its ugly head, often disguised as gifts or donations. Families of brides, especially in South Asian countries, face immense pressure to fulfill the groom's family's demands, often pushing them into a cycle of debt and despair. This insidious practice not only devalues women, but also perpetuates a system of inequality, where a woman's worth is measured by the price tag attached to her. The dowry system is a stark reminder of the deep-rooted patriarchy that still governs many societies. It reinforces the notion that women are burdens, their value contingent upon their family's ability to pay a hefty price. This archaic tradition has no place in a civilized society that claims to uphold equality and justice. It is a shameful reality that the dowry system continues to thrive in an age where we celebrate progress and enlightenment. The time has come to shatter this archaic tradition and create a society where women are valued for their worth, not for the wealth they bring to a marriage. The dowry system, often misconstrued as a cultural practice, finds no sanction within the tenets of Islam. In fact, Islam explicitly prohibits the act of demanding or accepting dowry, considering it a form of exploitation and injustice. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, clearly outlines the Islamic perspective on marriage, emphasizing the sanctity of the union and the rights of both men and women. Surah Nisa, verse 4 of the Quran states, "And give to the women, whom you marry, their mahr, obligatory bridal money given by the husband to his wife at the time of marriage, with a good heart. But if they of their own good pleasure remit any part of it to you, take it and enjoy it without fear of any harm, as Allah has made it lawful." This verse clearly establishes the concept of a gift that the groom gives to the bride as a token of his commitment and love. It is important to note that is the sole right of the wife, and she has complete autonomy over its use. The Quranic verse emphasizes that if the wife chooses to share any part of her with her husband, it is her own free will, and should be accepted with gratitude. This underscores the Islamic principle of financial independence for women within marriage. The Islamic perspective on marriage stands in stark contrast to the dowry system. While dowry demands diminish the status of women, elevates it, recognizing their inherent dignity and rights, it is a gift given out of love and respect, not a price paid for possession. The dowry system, with its insatiable appetite for wealth, places an unbearable burden on the shoulders of countless families, particularly those struggling to make ends meet. For families living below the poverty line, the thought of marrying off their daughters becomes a source of immense anxiety and despair. The pressure to accumulate vast sums of money, often exceeding their annual income, forces them into a vicious cycle of debt that can take generations to repay. The dowry system perpetuates a vicious cycle of poverty, trapping families in a quagmire of financial instability. Parents are often forced to sell their meager assets, take on high-interest loans, and even resort to child labor to meet exorbitant dowry demands. This desperate scramble for funds not only depletes their already limited resources but also deprives their children, especially daughters, of opportunities for education and a brighter future. The dowry system's impact on poor families extends far beyond financial ruin. It robs parents of their dignity, forcing them to beg, borrow, and compromise their morals to fulfill societal expectations. The emotional toll is immeasurable as they grapple with feelings of shame, helplessness, and the fear of jeopardizing their daughter's future. The dowry system is not just a social ill, it is an economic scourge that perpetuates poverty and widens the gap between the rich and the poor. The grim reality of the dowry system is reflected in the chilling statistics that capture the magnitude of this social evil. Every year, thousands of women across the globe, primarily in South Asia, become victims of dowry-related violence, often leading to their untimely demise. These numbers represent not just statistics but shattered lives, broken families, and a society grappling with the consequences of its own regressive practices. According to recent reports, India witnessed approximately 6,800 reported cases of dowry deaths in 2021 alone. This translates to an average of 20 dowry deaths every single day. These figures, while alarming, likely represent only the tip of the iceberg, as countless cases go unreported due to fear of societal stigma and the threat of further violence. The pervasiveness of dowry-related violence is a stain on humanity. These are not mere accidents or isolated incidents, they are systematic acts of cruelty inflicted upon women for failing to meet the insatiable greed of their in-laws. The brutality often knows no bounds, ranging from physical and emotional abuse to dowry deaths disguised as suicides or accidents. These statistics are a wake-up call for society to confront this evil head-on. We cannot afford to remain passive observers while countless lives are lost to this barbaric practice. In the quiet corners of countless homes, stories of dreams and aspirations are often overshadowed by the harsh realities of greed. It's more than just a social issue, it's a human tragedy. Many lives brimming with potential are cut short, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and unanswered questions. As we reflect on these tales, we must ask ourselves, how long will we allow this cycle to continue? And what can we do to bring about change? Each life lost to greed is a stark reminder of the work that lies ahead. Can legislation truly put an end to the dowry system? Well, it's a complex question. While laws are essential, they alone cannot change deeply ingrained cultural norms. Enforcement is often weak, and many cases go unreported. So it's not just about having the laws, it's about changing minds and attitudes. The dowry system takes a significant toll on mental health. For many women, the pressure and stress can lead to anxiety, depression, and even thoughts of self-harm. Families too suffer under the financial burden and societal expectations. It's a cycle of emotional turmoil that affects everyone involved. Society as a whole must take a stand against the dowry system. This means raising awareness, educating the younger generation, and supporting those who are affected. Communities need to come together to challenge and change these harmful traditions. It's a collective responsibility that we all share. Despite the challenges, there is hope for change. Many grassroots organizations and activists are working tirelessly to combat the dowry system. Progress may be slow, but every small step counts. With continued effort and determination, we can envision a future free from this harmful practice.